Is she breathing? Hello, welcome to my channel. It's been a long time I have filmed a video in real time. We are currently 1 month with baby. I wonder what you're gonna do. Huh?
She's not gonna see you for 4 days.
Yeah, what are they gonna think?
She's gonna lose her shit when you come home after.
You know what's the most exciting part? I'm gonna come back not pregnant. I can't. I get one intense one, and then I get one like 2 minutes later that's just like cramps and bits. Oh.
Is this sister up? Huh?
I'm not sure.
So you messaging?
No. It's less than 5 minutes here.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. We should have went straight away when you first came. Don't panic if your water breaks or anything, Tom.
Yeah.
Because you still have time. It's not going to take you long.
You know, they should actually, and this was on the radio. Oh, it feels like I've got a poo. Oh. God, it didn't. Oh. I really don't get it. It's so bad, it hurts so bad. I remember sleeping through some of them.
What time did you wake up?
I woke up at 5:17.
And then you woke me up?
Yeah, about 2-3 minutes after it, I came. Because I was like, oh, is this going to be like yesterday? And then one of them made me sit up, and I knew, no, like this is different. Because I felt it. In my back.
That's in your, once you're at the hospital, they'll contact your midwife.
Yeah.
She'll come like maybe an hour or 2 hours later. She won't come straight away. You'll have the other midwives looking after you. But worst case scenario, they'll give you something for the pain now. Like, would they give you gas?
No. Oh, they'll give you Panadol. Oh.
How long is the pain's going for? About a minute?
Yeah. I want to sleep. How do we even go through this 4 or 5 times? They're fucked. I'm so sleepy. Your heartbeat gets higher though.
No. Don't worry about the sound. My heartbeat's at 130.
Listen, if I can get through this pain, I can get through the pushing. Give me water, babe. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm going to heads out. Wait for our shoulders to come out, alright? Tight. And I've figured in the oxytocin. Yeah,
Ready?
there we go. Push, deep breath.
Wait, it's coming on its own.
There we go.
Oh, Mummy.
There's a beautiful baby.
Put some oxytocin in there.
Wow.
Did you get that in?
No. I'll put it in there. There we go.
Tut bir beni tut. Tut bir beni. Tut bir beni. Tut.
There she is. Good job.
Yeah, it's going to sting your leg, okay? You ready?
Oh.
1, 2, 3, sting.
10, 20.
Impressive.
23.
Yeah, impressive. Very impressive job.
Goodness.
Did she do, was that what was okay? Did she do it all?
Yeah.
Just on your own. Just on
Good
your
job.
own.
Okay.
Mum.
Look at her, she's so peaceful. Just in like the... This is how the ultrasounds came out.
Yeah, literally. Okay. You're gonna hate me.
She doesn't like biting. Unless you give her.
Korkuyor. Tamam. Tamam.
Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Senin adın Nefes Leyla. Senin adın Nefes Leyla. Senin adın Nefes Leyla.
Look at the baby. Did you see the baby?
She's been out cold. For about 1.5 hours now. But the reality of my life, I just expressed, like, that is painful. That is so painful. They're hard, they're leaking. Like, can you see all of those bumps? I need to massage them, but they just feel so freaking hard. And they're only going to get fuller and bigger. So, by the way, this thing, I will talk about it later in the vlog. What I'm going to do is what they've told me to do with my... Thank you for ice packs like this. What you do is you separate that. Hang on. I'm basically just going to lay down and just ice pack myself. She's all ready to go home. She looks so ugly like this, oh my god. Oh my gosh. You are so gorgeous, Mum. Oh, I need to take a photo. We are currently 1 month with baby. She's going through a little bit of reflux, so we've got her elevated and I am constantly monitoring her, but I don't have time. So we're going to make this really snappy in the sense where I do have a rundown of the things that I do want to talk about in this video. I just need to get my glasses because ever since not being able to sleep properly, listen, my eyes have just been all out of whack. I also have a coffee on order because hashtag no sleep, hashtag new mum life, you know. Please excuse me if I have to attend to the baby or if I am folding clothing because, like I said, we don't have a life at the moment. Okay, so welcome to another video. Yes, I am folding up my husband's underwear. Sorry. You can't get any more real than this, girlfriend. You can't get any more real than that. Okay, so where to start from? Welcome to my birth vlog. Welcome to my experience giving birth to my first child, Miss Princess Nefes Leila de Manje. She was born on the 11th of March at 10:22 a.m. My labour was 5 hours and I pushed her out within 5 minutes and 3 pushes. Now, I want to first start off with talking about what I took to the hospital. I will leave the video that I packed my bag. Don't you dare. No. Go to bed. I have to threaten them constantly because they decide to bark and like communicate with the neighbour's dog when she's asleep, and she's a reflux baby and a vom baby and I don't have time for it. Abby, stop. Okay, so I want to start off with the things that I took to the hospital. Like I said, I will leave a link over here somewhere on the screen and in the description bar below of my video of me packing for the hospital. I just want to say, you don't need half of them. You literally don't need half of them. You don't need underwear. You don't need a bra because you're in freaking one bra that literally gets milked all over and then you're like, okay, I just give up. Maybe 2 bras. You just need 2 bras. Things that I took to the hospital that I did end up using. Wow, sorry if you just saw a boob or a nipple. Now, I want to put up my perineal wash squirty bottle. Amazing. Or if you don't want to spend money on a bottle like that and you've got a Powerade bottle, I kid you not, they will do the same thing because the flow of the top part of the suction bit of the Powerade bottle kind of like is the perineal, if I'm saying that right, wash bottle. This was a lifesaver for me. It honestly was an absolute lifesaver for me. So just keep in mind also nappies you're going to need as well. You're going to need about 3 bags of 3 things of them in the hospital because with me I used about 3 all up. What else can I say? Essentials for labour. You're going to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying because I ended up using it. Number 1 being a good support system. Obviously that's like, I know, you know, you kind of want that anyway. Good support system. My sister and my husband were there and I'm so thankful for them and also thankful for the midwives that was at the hospital with me. Not only did my midwife miss me pushing out the baby because like she literally flew out, but the midwives there, they were amazing. Like they were really, really nice to me. They were really good. They're really supportive. See, I gave birth naturally and I only used gas. The one thing that I can say that helped me, if you're going with a +1, if you're going with a support system, or I'm pretty sure a nurse or a midwife would even be up for doing this, they offered me a birthing ball and I sat on that birthing ball. Essentially, I was on the birthing ball, my head like this on the bed and me sitting on the birthing ball. My sister, poor thing, said to me that her thumbs, she couldn't feel them for like 2 days straight after my birth because she was digging in that deep into my pressure points in my back, and all I was doing, I was just swaying my bum on that birthing ball and sucking on that gas like there is no tomorrow. I would highly recommend using a birthing ball if you're going to give birth naturally. It does wonders. Up until the moment I felt the baby coming, I felt her head and I said, oh, I need a push. Now, what I found was not being hard was my labor. I loved my labor. I can do my labor all over again, constantly on repeat. What I found was the aftermath of labor. 5:40 a.m. on the 11th of March, and I'm going to pop the photo over here and you will see it before or after this clip. But I got up and I had a weird, different kind of contraction. Anyway, Ned and I rang the hospital. We took our time. I wanted to labour at home as much as I can. before going to the hospital because my sister spent 16 hours and over laboring at the hospital before she pushed her baby out, and I didn't want that to happen. So took my time, you know, was with the dogs for a bit, mucked around with Ned even, packed my bag, got my stuff, packed the car, dropped a key off to my brother-in-law because he was going to come and feed our dog and also pick up Abby and Oreo. And then went to the hospital, messaged my sister, messaged my mum, messaged everyone that I needed to. Went into the room. We'd had to get rat tests on. Went into the room, sat down, chilled, went to the toilet, and then my contractions obviously at this point were like, okay. Then they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna come, we're gonna pop your waters. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's pop my waters. I didn't know why they wanted to pop my waters, I'm not too sure, but they did. Oh, sis, after they popped the waters, the contractions was intense. I'm getting the chills just by talking about it and remembering it, but let me tell you, there is nothing on this universe that can compare to those contractions. They were out of this world. Those contractions every 5 minutes for a minute, even maybe more, I don't know, but you're okay between them. It's like nothing ever happened between them. You have a normal conversation between them, and then during that contraction, nah, you're not there. You don't want to know anyone, you don't want to see anyone, you just want to moan and scream. I saw my sister come in. It was hazy, it was a blur. I saw my sister come in, and all I remember was her fingers on my back, digging into my back, and my husband holding my hand and stroking my head. That's all I remember. One was behind me, one was in front of me. And when I do say I gave birth, I don't say I gave birth, I say we gave birth, like me, my sister and Ned. We all did, because it was just a beautiful experience. Then came the time where I felt the baby. At this point, imagine me on the birthing ball, and then I'm like, oh no, I need a push. My midwife, there was one midwife there, amazing woman. She's like, no, 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 don't push. We're calling Maria. Maria is my midwife. And Maria's like, no, it's too early, yada, yada, yada. And I can hear all of this happening. I'm like, I need to push. Like, I need to push this baby out. I have the feeling that I need to push. And then I went on the bed. I refused listening to them. I just did what my body wanted to do. My body wanted to go on the bed, so I went on the bed. Anyway, I'm on the bed, legs wide open. And I'm like, I need a push. I pushed one. And then one of the nurses like, oh no, like the head's there. She was pushing the head back in. She was pushing her head back in, trying to hold it there. I don't know what she was trying to achieve, or I think she just freaked out, but she was trying to push the head back in. And then they're like, hold it, blah, blah, don't push. And I'm like, I need a push, it's coming out. Anyway, I pushed second time. And then I pushed the third time, and oh my God, it's like you've pissed, but also did the biggest shit of your life. But let me tell you, throughout this whole experience, I am sucking on that gas like there is no tomorrow. I'm inhaling like a motherfucker, and nobody could have stopped me. I was in cloud 9. I was feeling every single contraction, because at one point I said to the midwives, is this working? Like the gas, I'm saying, is it working? Because you feel the pain, but your head's in woo-woo land. You know what I mean? Anyway, and then all I remember saying was, is she breathing? Because I thought, you know, it was 5 minutes. The push was 5 minutes. But in my head, it was 3 hours. Like in my head, she stayed there for a while. And you would, well, we did see. Missy came out with like, cause she waited there for a while in that little birthing canal, my vagina exit. She had like a little dome on her head. It's not there anymore, but like her head was like, and it's like, don't freak out. Anyway, and while I was pushing the third push, my midwife was literally putting on her gown and her gloves on, and she missed the whole thing. Doesn't matter. I absolutely love my experience, but when you're in that situation, it's like you're living an out-of-body experience. It's like I was watching what my sister recorded. It's like I was watching from above. I was watching in third person. I was one of those midwives watching me give birth. So yeah, that's my birthing story if you want me to wrap it up there, but that's exactly what I went through, and it was amazing. Straight after birth, they took the baby, they gave it to me. I told them I don't want any medical interference, I just want body-to-body contact with baby. And I wanted Ned to have it too, but he couldn't because the baby had to be weighed in, yada yada yada. She was born at 2.6 kilos. She is now almost 4 kilos, being a month later, which is kind of like freaky. That was the good part. The horrid bit, the shower after you birth your baby is amazing. It's just beautiful. You love it, right? But you feel kind of weird because you feel kind of empty. Like you feel like your insides are going to fall out. But it's good. You're an adrenaline. You've got adrenaline running through. You're on a high. You know, you've just popped out a baby. Yes, you're not pregnant anymore. You've got a child. You're a mum. The aftermath is what I hated. 2 weeks straight. Baby blues, stitches. I still, till today, have not looked at my vagina. And I don't want to. I don't know if I've still got stitches there. I don't know if I don't. I've got, I think, 3 stitches, if I'm not mistaken. Don't know what she looks like anymore. Haven't looked at my penny for a long time. But yeah, so the aftermath is a disgusting bit because I also have silicones. The way my milk came in was, whoa. My boobs went to a double D. I'm not even joking, a double D. They were hot. They were heavy. They were like rocks in my chest. I'm not even joking. There was a point where in the hospital, they're up here, I've just fed the baby. She hasn't latched on properly because the boob is so swollen. I'm expressing, I'm, you know, taking out some before I'm giving it to her so she can at least have a nipple to latch on because it's like she's trying to suck on a dry wall. Nurses are coming in, you know, propping you, and then they tell you don't express because you're going to overmake more. And you're like, fuck this, I don't want more milk, you know. And then they're like, oh, you've got an oversupply, it's a blessing in disguise, yada, yada, yada. And you're like, yeah, bitch, I know. I can clearly tell I've got an oversupply. My flow was too much for her, so she was choking every 2 seconds. That's a different anxiety in itself because my tit literally engulfs her entire head, or did at that point. And she was so tiny, but she was born healthy, all good, all perfect, whatever. And then, yeah, that was the most horrid part of it. The breastfeeding bit. I never believed somebody when they said, okay, breastfeeding is hard. Let me tell you, first and foremost, breastfeeding is the most exhausting, most hard thing anyone can ever do in this universe. Pushing out a baby is easy. Pushing out a baby is the easiest, most rewarding bit. Pushing out a baby, again, I'm telling you, I will do it over and over again. Don't tell me to go back to phase 1 of breastfeeding. I don't want it. Don't want anything to do with it. People that just, you know, pop the baby on and I wish I can be them, but I used to cry myself literally to sleep and say, other people just pop the baby on, look at their phones and go on their phones while their baby's feeding. Why can I not do this? What am I doing wrong? I'm such a bad mom. I had the biggest baby blues. I didn't sleep for 2 days straight. I started hallucinating at the hospital. The nurses forced me to sleep. They forced Ned out of the room with her. I woke up from my sleep because I had a nightmare that they were dead. I started running around the hallway looking for my child and Ned. The nurse came back, got me, put me back into bed. She's like, no, you need to sleep. Close my door. And then she goes, if you open this door again, I'm going to lock you in. I was like, oh my God, open the door because I'm having nightmares. I'm getting scared. I feel like there's like freaking, I don't know, Freddy Krueger behind me. I'm not joking. Like, don't look at me talking about it like this. It was intense. And then I started seeing nurses come in and out of the room, whereas there's no nurses in and out of the room. My door's, you know, wide open. No one's coming in and out because when I blink, like there's literally no one there. So I started getting freaked out. I told the nurse what I was going through. She's like, look, it's okay. It's adrenaline. You need to sleep. I need you to sleep for at least 2 hours. Went to sleep and it felt like, you know, I was a superhuman again. The other thing I want to say is I never believed it, but baby blues, not so much depression. See, I didn't go through postnatal depression. If I had let it get any worse and if I hadn't voiced my feelings and stuff, I think it would have gone to postnatal depression. My depression didn't come from having a baby. My depression came from having, love my mother-in-law, love her to bits. My depression came from having the third person watch you, if that made sense, because I knew mum, and I was also like, oh, I'm doing this wrong, she's going to judge me kind of thing. Don't have anyone there, okay, other than like your maybe sister or own mum. Just listen to me. I love my mother-in-law, but maybe it wasn't the greatest idea. And this is me being completely like open and raw and real with you guys. But yeah, it wasn't the best decision to have your meal there, and I will never do that again. Plus, for the second baby, I'm kind of well marinated because look, we lived a lot with baby number one. My depression didn't come from like that. I had what you would call, or what they call, postnatal blues. My midwife told me this, and I didn't believe it, like I said, till I lived it. She told me and Ned and I, that I will go through a period where I'm at home, right? But I would just cry out of nowhere when my milk comes in. I was like, I'm such a happy person, why would I cry? Exactly this scenario, what you see me doing, folding up baby clothing, I was doing in her room. This is like day 2 of us coming out of the hospital, being at home. I'm folding up clothing exactly like this, and I start bawling, sis. I literally, for 30 minutes straight, it was dinner time, my mother-in-law and Ned was eating, I bawled my eyes out like there is no tomorrow. I don't know why. I kept saying to myself, I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing. How do people do it? How did my sister do it with no help? Yeah, I just kept like, you know, doubting myself, I guess. But that only lasts for like 1 week. Hang in there for a week. You're not losing your mind. Trust me, because my mother-in-law was here. It came to a point where I came home one day because we had to go to Baby Bumpton to get a co-sleeper. And then we came back home, and my mother-in-law's talking to overseas because people were ringing her saying, oh, congrats, blah, blah, blah. And my head started buzzing. I physically felt my head buzz, like actual like ding, constantly like that. And I just kept telling myself, oh, this is postnatal depression. Oh no, I'm losing my mind. And my sister warned me about postnatal psychosis. That shit scares me. Like I've always said to her, like God forbid, I don't wish it upon anyone, but I always kind of feared it, and I think that's why I was more scared and more anxious. And we all know here on my Instagram and YouTube channel, I'm a very anxious person. I'm already so anxious, you know. And then yeah, my head started buzzing, and I'm like, oh no, I'm losing the plot. I'm losing the plot. I'm losing the plot. I'm losing the plot. Nat, keep it together. You know what I mean? Keep it together. My Turkish name is Namin. Keep it together. Keep it together. Keep it together. You have to keep it together for this baby. You have to keep it together for this baby. It came to a point where I isolated myself from Ned and his mum while they were sitting in the lounge room, walked into the bedroom, closed my door, turned on my nightlight, and just started feeding the baby over there. And then they decided to come in. I know intentions were beautiful for the both of them, I know. And regardless, you only want your husband there. You genuinely only want your husband there. Like, I just wanted Ned's hug and touch. I didn't want anything sexual, physical, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want that. All you want is your husband's touch. You want that familiar kind of security blanket, you know? The third person there is just, yeah. And then I asked Ned, I have like 110 of Vic sticks at home because when I have an anxiety attack or when I do get anxious thoughts and my breath gets short and everything, I'll just stick Vic sticks up my nose. This is pre-pregnancy, and I'm like, Ned, can you please give my Vic sticks? And at that moment, he knew there was something up. And I'm just sitting there sniffing on my Vic sticks. Yeah, and just constantly telling myself, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together. Again, this lasts for a week, and at the very end, because my mother-in-law gave baby COVID, she kind of had to isolate. Ned, baby and I were in the hospital. Yes, that's a whole thing. It was so bad. Anyway, I'll get into that just a little later. And then, yeah, that only lasts for a week. And now we're a well-marinated mother because we looked after a baby with COVID. The only problem I have is her vomiting out of her nose. I don't care about her vomiting, but just out of her nose, it kind of scares me a little. And we are 1 month and 2 days. So that is it for this video. Other than that, if you guys like this video, please don't forget to give it a like. Don't forget to share it with your friends and family. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I upload. Oh, hang on, wait. We're not a professional over here. I upload every single week. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next Monday.